Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to European Truck Simulator 2, and welcome back to Kavala in Greece. We found a cargo going down to Cyprus. We're going to go pick it up. It's noon. You can barely tell because it's so cloudy, but it's noon. We did sleep. We fueled up the truck, and we're ready to go. Man, it's been interesting getting here. I have to tell you. Hang on, let me try something here. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, it's been interesting. This game, this sim. Turn the brights off. There we go. And with pro mods, you know, I feel like the base game areas are really, really well put together, really thought out, and they're all built to the same spec and the same standard. Now that standard is evolving, and we can see that in Germany, the new Germany stuff that's in the patch 1.34, 1.35, where they're evolving the standard and they're improving the quality of the base game areas, but they're still built to a standard. And I feel like some of the pro mods areas, as much as I love pro mods, I feel like those areas are built by different people in different places. They're volunteers as far as I know. I don't know that pro mods makes enough money that they can pay their staff. But they're built by different people in different places, and I feel like the standards are a little bit less rigid. And I also feel like each of those volunteers, again, working in the context of, I don't want to say no standard, but, you know, things are a little bit, yes, I hear you, buddy. Calm down. My goodness. There we go. But in the context of things being maybe not quite as strict, you know, I feel like people have more latitude to do things the way they want to, right? And you get some sort of cutesy areas, what I think of as cutesy, right? Like, how tight can we make this? How impossible can we make this parking lot? It seems to me to be that way. It could be that that person just, you know, doesn't scale it properly, but that seems unlikely because there's so much work involved in building something like this, right? In pro mods, in a lot of cases, like, an individual builds an entire area. I know a lot of the cities in Spain were built by one person. What? Yeah, he worked on Barcelona for a year, is what I've been told. I don't know. Internet rumors. Who knows how accurate that is? But it fits. It makes sense. So I guess putting all that together, it can be, I don't want to say frustrating, but it can be challenging to get into some of these pro mods areas because it seems intentionally extra tight. Like, let's make a map as tight as I would make a map to be. Let's make it extra challenging. Okay, that's cool. Can get a little tedious. So I'm oh man, it's taking a minute to get this video set up. There you go. That's me done ranting. Ranting, I tell you. How's everybody doing? It's Sunday for me. It's Monday for you. What is going on? Let me tell you some non-gaming things that are going on first before we begin. This weekend is the first weekend of the 2019-2020 NFL season. American football. It's preseason. It's going to be 4 weeks of preseason, and then the real season starts. I don't have a lot to be excited about because my team is not going to have a good season. They just aren't. It's time for them to be rebuilding. It's been time for them to be rebuilding for several years now, but they're holding on. They're holding on, and they're a team that consistently goes to the playoffs. This is the light that got me last episode. I didn't stop in time for it. I'll stop way back here. They are a team that consistently goes to the playoffs, and that is, I think, getting them a little bit of latitude, you know, that we don't need to rebuild. We go to the playoffs, but they never go deep in the playoffs. So that is what's going on there. Also, in just another couple of weeks, the new Tool album drops. I don't know if you're Tool fans. I've asked you this before. New Tool record. First one in 13 years. I'm very excited. The first single dropped. It's on YouTube. It's on Vivo. It's called Fear Inoculum. It's something else, man. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what to expect from this new release. On the one hand, it could be, you know, this is what happens when you wait for something for 13 years. On the other hand, it could be a catastrophe. You never can tell. You never know. I believe we're going right there, which is where we dropped off, was it not? Yeah, when we came to this town, that's where we dropped off. Okay. So let's swing right in there. That is my non-gaming stuff. Gaming stuff, what's going on? Wednesday, this Wednesday, you will see a Train Sim World video, and it is the last DLC. It's the BR Western Loco. Right here. Stop right there. That was quite a bit of third person. We don't do that too often. Stop that right there. Let's take a look at the job offer. We're taking some salmon. We're taking salmon down to Cyprus. Or we were a minute ago. Yeah, there it is. Salmon down to Cyprus. 7 grand. No problem. So we'll take this down here, and we'll take it down here. It's going to be a quick trip. 262 kilometers. Interesting. Okay, so brake is off. Let's get in gear. Yeah. Remember what I was saying a minute ago about things being slightly different standards? Yeah, let's just load up. Let's just load up. No need to be fancy. So I'm... Oh, all right. Oh, there's the exit right there. Okay. Oh, game. Oh, game. Let me drop my axle here. Left axle is down. Go back in cab. And here we go. So I'm excited about that last DLC. I'm excited about the next DLC, which is going to come a couple days after. On the 15th, when Train Sim World 2020 drops. And for me, that will just be a patch, because I already own the game. But then we're going to get a new DLC, the Peninsula Corridor, up there in that Bay Area. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I go back and forth about Train Sim World. I know the business model and the DLC model is frustrating to a lot of people. I know, reading in the comments, you know, something that I see over and over again is, hey, why don't you fix the current game before you slap a new name on it? It's got so many bugs. Okay, you know, that's valid perhaps. But it is what it is, and it's a fun sim. It's surprisingly fun. I mean, I love simulation gaming, you know that, but the idea of, you know, that kind of slow, super chill train driving, you think, well, you know, that might be fun now and then, but it can't be that much fun. But I really, really do like Train Sim World. And I'm glad they made the switch, the reboot, because the Train Simulator franchise, I tried it. I downloaded Train Simulator 19, and I just couldn't get into it. The graphics were just too dated. It didn't do it for me. So I'm glad they've got an alternative running on Unreal. And Unreal that's a controversy factory. People either love or hate Unreal. And I suppose it can depend on the application. I think Unreal works better for some types of sims and some types of games than for others. I know some people just hate Unreal, period. And other people just love Unreal, period. You'll have that in gaming with anything. It's a very dogmatic crowd. But I think there's some truth to that perception that Unreal is better at some things than it is at other things. We're going to have to flip the curb here just a little bit. We made it. Turn signal off. Here we go. So regardless, I'm looking forward to seeing the changes that they make in Train Sim World, and I'm looking forward to both those DLC. Although one, the BR Western DLC has been out for a little while. At least a month or so, maybe a little longer than that, yeah. But we'll get that going. I'll drive that on Wednesday. And then what's next? That is August. September is WRC 8. Looks like a whole new game. I've got WRC 7. I have to say, I don't play very much because it looks really flat and dead and cartoony, and it plays really cartoony alongside the Dirt franchise, Dirt Rally 2.0. I think WRC 7, for being an official game, FIA WRC, like the whole thing. It's got the seal of approval. It's got the, the license, the sanction, the ipso facto. It's got it all. I think it does not look or play very, very good. The new one, the WRC8, looks like something from the Dirt franchise. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope my Wii machine can play it, but I'm really looking forward to it. Rally games are funny. One of the best rally games is rumored to be Richard Burns Rally, which is years and years and years old. And people swear by it. I personally have never played it. I've seen some YouTube videos of it. I think it would be difficult for me to play it because of the look of it. But the physics apparently are supposed to be just like the level beyond the next level. And people love it. They swear by it. And it's got a very active and a very robust mod community. We'll talk about mods too, because we were talking about the Pro Mods crew a minute ago. I want to talk about mods today. Modders. In a good way. In a good way. So, looking forward to WRC8, although I'm beginning to get to peak race sim, I think. I've got so many race sims. There are some that I'm uninstalling just to make room on my hard drives. I don't need that many race sims. I don't play all of them very often. There's some of them that I play quite a bit, and there are others that I don't play nearly as often. Some of those I've uninstalled. If I want to play it again, fortunately I have super fast internet, so I'll just download it again. But for now, I'll uninstall it. I never play it. So, we'll see. WRC8, we'll see. And what else is going on? For me personally, gaming, I did finish my season in MXGP Pro. I finished the 250, the MX2 series, and I bumped up to the 450s. And oh boy, it's a harder bike to ride. The AI is harder, and then I bumped up the AI difficulty to boot. So it is really, first race was in Qatar, and it really took quite a bit of focus and concentration. Where are we at here? 70. Quite a bit of focus and concentration. First heat, I came 5th. Second heat, I won. But because of the way the points shook out, that's the first round. Qatar is the first round of the season. Because of the way the points shook out, myself and one other rider both have 41 points. We're tied for first. So it's going to be an effort. I've got the semi-pro physics on. The only reason I don't have pro physics on is when you bump up to full pro, it forces you to separate the brakes, and I just don't have enough thumbs to steer the bike, throttle and brake, do the weight shift, which is the right stick, manually shift, oh dear, manually shift, which I do with my right thumb. I know some people use the bumpers for it. I do it with my thumb. And then the rear brake would be, I just don't have enough thumbs for it. You can either set it to a bumper, and the way my controller is set up, it's got like extra buttons all over it. So I could be using the left trigger for the front brake and then sort of roll my finger. Oh dear. Oh dear, why are we not stopping? What the hell? That was crazy. I was as hard on the brakes as I could be, and we were not stopping at all. Interesting. I wonder if that's because of the rain. Anyway, I mean, you know how to set up a controller. But I personally just don't have I just can't do it. It's too many things to do. So the idea of adding a manual rear brake to that it's not going to happen. So I can't run full pro physics, but semi-pro physics, the bike is still extremely squirrely. The front end loves to bury, the back end loves to step out, and then the 450. The 450 it's harder for me to handle. The 450 AI is more aggressive, and then I bumped up the AI anyway, and it's going to be a handful. We've got another 18 races to go. Super, super excited about that. And continuing to churn my way through Supercross. Monster Energy Supercross 2. You know, I got that game, I played it a little bit, I said it's not for me, then I got back into MXGP Pro and remembered, hey, I got this Supercross game. Played it a few times, hey, this is cool, why was I not playing this? Well, now that I've played it a few more times, that's why. It's extremely frustrating. It's, I guess there's a skill set for it, a muscle memory. to get the rhythm right on those tight Supercross courses with all the triples. I personally am really struggling with it. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not, but it's very frustrating and not much fun. So that's why I wasn't playing it. So we got that going on. In F1 19, I told you I started with the Williams team because that was a team running the Mercedes motor that wasn't Mercedes, and the only other choice was Racing Point. Well, when I do a career... Oh, I'm going to bring this all full circle here. Wait till you see this. This is going to be beautiful. When I do a career, before I do a career race, I will do the same race in just a standalone Grand Prix mode. And so I did we're in round 2, Bahrain. So I did Bahrain yesterday, just as a standalone Grand Prix. And you can pick any car you want, and I picked the Racing Point. Why not? I never drove it. It's actually a great car. I like it. It suits me. So I've only done one race in career mode, and that's Australia. Now I did have to do the F2 stuff. You got to do a couple little F2, I don't know, shenanigans. I think it's a bit contrived. I think it's a little bit like the reporter asking you questions, but whatever. So I'd have to do that F2 stuff again, and then I'd have to do Australia again. But I'm seriously considering restarting my career, restarting a new career with Racing Point. Pretty sure I'm going to do that later this afternoon. So we'll see how that goes. So let me tie it all together. Career mode, modding. Here's where we go. Wow, we're getting like no brake effect. This is very interesting. How heavy is this? What do we got on here? 8 tons. That's nothing. That's a feather. This is very interesting. I do have trailer stability. Jesus. Trailer stability and truck stability turned down almost to 0, and I've got my braking intensity turned down almost to 0. But I don't remember this problem with the braking before. Curious if it's the rain. We shall see. Right. €8. I love Greece. Here we go. So, that's that same van that was next to us at the last toll booth. I feel like someone's following me. Right, so Assetto Corsa, regular Assetto Corsa, not Assetto Corsa Competizione, which we'll talk about in a second. Regular Assetto Corsa. I'm running Content Manager, I'm running all kinds of stuff, and I'm running the Good Bad Weather suite. Well, I don't play Assetto Corsa a whole lot, so anytime I hop on Content Manager, which is a launcher and front-end UI for Assetto Corsa, if you're not familiar. Anytime I hop on Content Manager, it immediately tells me, player, you've got to update a bunch of stuff. You are way out of date. Hang on. Let's do a little screenshot. Oh, yeah. There's our screenshot. It tells me I'm out of date, and I am. So I go to the Good Bad Weather Suite page, I guess, on Race Department to download the current iteration of Good Bad Weather Suite, and what do I see? What do I see? But I see a mod called Sol, S-O-L, by the same, I believe the same developer, Peter Bosa. I think it's the same guy. I sees me a mod called Sol, which is, I think, everything that was in Good Bad Weather Suite, but they've added a day-night cycle. Good Bad Weather Suite was just weather, and then there were other day-night cycles. Assetto Corsa is tricky. It's a little bit like Richard Burns Rally in that it's been pushed beyond its limits by modders. So I downloads me the Sol. Now you got to run special custom shaders because it has a day-night cycle, and Assetto Corsa base does not support dynamic lighting, so you have to run all this stuff. And I got it working, and it's fantastic. It really is. It's fantastic. However, I realizes that these things are all done by different people, and I don't know that there's any like super central communication between them. There seems to be, because I mean it's a mod community, and that's at that point, you know, you're the upper levels of the modding community. I'm trying to find my turn. There it is. You know what I mean? You're not somebody who's, you know, skinning a car, and I mean, that's a modder, but it's not like someone who's redesigning and rebuilding the weather for a race sim. That's a slightly more robust undertaking. So I would think that those modders operating at that higher level, there is communication between them and they do know each other. There's some kind of mega patch or mega mod for Assetto Corsa that I saw in Content Manager. I'm serious. Like, I follow this stuff, and I'd like to think that I'm a fairly bright fellow, but it can be challenging to, like, sort all this stuff out. It is really, it is as, wow, frame rate, tanking. Come on, game, hold it together for me. Wow. Why is that dropping so low? What's going on here? Huh. Alright. I don't know if it's the rain or the lights or both. But it really is. I suppose if you just immersed yourself in one sim, we're doing good on time. I want to go back and get these discoverables while we're here. I don't know when we're going to be back in Greece. Sir, thank you. This will be the third time now I've tried to say this. If you immerse yourself in one sim, perhaps it would be easier to keep track of this stuff. Jesus. Why? Why? Oh, game. Oh, God. Oh. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get through it. What is this, 5 times now? If you immersed yourself in one sim exclusively, perhaps it would be easier to keep track of this stuff. But when you spread yourself around, as I do with a lot of different sims, like with Assetto Corsa, you know, I sign into Content Manager and it's like, whoa, okay, I got all this stuff to do. It's okay. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just I realize that I lose track of some of these sims because I'm not using them or playing them or getting into them every day. So I guess the point of that is, for a modder or for a sim driver to be able to keep all that stuff coordinated, then it works great. But the fact that it's decentralized and maybe there's not a single person kind of coordinating all of it, things can be a bit chaotic. And I think that's a problem in any sim or any game that is heavily modded, to the point where there are mods that are sort of mandatory, you know? It's not included with the game, but you still need it to play. Or at least you need it to play the way that everybody else that's playing the sim or the game is playing it. And that can be challenging for us as gamers to try to sort all that out, because there's very often no roadmap, there's very often no guidebook. So that stuff makes... those mods make Assetto Corsa so much more than I ever thought it could be. Now, I don't know if it will ever be as pretty as Project Cars 2, which I think is the prettiest and most immersive sim, race sim. For the most part. Although the physics is pretty lacking. And Assetto Corsa, what this Sol mod does to Assetto Corsa and the day-night cycle and other things, it's dynamic as well. You can start in the evening and accelerate time to have it become dark while you're in a race. There's all kinds of stuff. But I wonder if that can ever be as good coming from a mod as if it came from the developer. You know, do these things have to come from the developer to really be solid? And that ties in, I guess, with the next thing I want to talk about, which is Assetto Corsa Competizione. You know, that big patch dropped. And what wasn't... Yeah, I guess it was. I was about to say it wasn't a big patch, but yeah, actually it was. It was a really big patch, 1.0.7. And it changes a lot of things. And it's actually made the game playable for me on a long-term basis. I've tried to play it many, many times, but between the physics were good, but the handling was bad, if that makes sense. The handling was good, but the physics were... Reverse that. The physics were good, but the handling was bad. Yeah, I said that right. The game was accurately presenting a car that really didn't handle well. Yeah, I think that's it. And it was very frustrating. It was very difficult to control the car, and there were a lot of things that needed fixed. They have been. And now it's fun. And because I'm playing it for longer periods of time than I ever have before, I'm needing to figure things out that I didn't have to figure out before, like the pit stop menu, and none of this stuff comes with a manual. This is that iPhone syndrome, right? You get an iPhone, there's no manual. What do you need a manual for? It's an iPhone. Everybody knows how an iPhone works. I feel like that's been extended out to so many aspects of our life that there's no manual anymore. There really is no manual. And a lot of these sims, a lot of these games, you can't even go to the website and find a manual. Now, some of them have little buttons and tutorials that talk you through it. You know, you figure it out. And there's some pop-ups in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but a lot of it you just need to figure out, you know, trial and error. So I'm getting it figured out. And what I'm realizing is the career mode is really pretty lacking. And let's get, where do we want to go here? Is that, are we, can we turn here? Yeah, we can. Okay, so we go here and we go here. Who knew getting to Cyprus could be so complicated? There it is. Jeezy Pete's. I'm amazed that we've made it this far without taking any damage. Although we've got, what, 2 tickets, 3 tickets, 7 tickets? Come on, game. Alright, so we're going to pull right in here. Whew. Right. Put her in neutral. Set the brake. Wipers off. Lights off. Engine off. Possible destinations. Well, it seems there's only one. 31 hours. Good grief. Alright, here we go. Alright. And there we are. Man, that is a quick load. Is it? Is it? Is it?
Okay. Let's find it.
Alright. I think we might have lost a little bit of time there, so I need to do a marker right here. I'm going to say the marker is turning the lights on. So we'll get her started. Alright. And then we've got lights on. Okay. And I have to do that in case I have to resynchronize the audio. So, brake is off. Put her in gear. Here we go. So there are plenty of sims and plenty of games that have... They have the career model just absolutely dialed. And the career model, I think, is pretty simple. And I don't know why any game developer would struggle with this. How the hell? Really? Okay. This is that cuteness that I was talking about. Why you gotta be cute? Right? Like, I assume it's through here. I can't imagine where else it would be. I'm not a fan of cute. I gotta tell you. Oh, close. Yeah. Alright, well that was cute. So the career model is pretty simple, and we know it from every game that has had a good career model, and it works like this. You start at the lower tier with basic equipment, and you try to make enough money, or score enough points, or get enough prestige, or fame, or whatever, that you can upgrade your equipment, move to a higher class. Oh, are we, okay. They do it different here on Cyprus. What the hell? Yeah. Okay, no, we're good. Drive it on the left. All right. I didn't know that. Here we go. It's a pretty simple model, and it's easy. You would think anybody could do it. And even in something like F1 or Rally, where there's really not a lot of classes, I guess, tiers. There's a discoverable right here. Let's grab it. Let's go. Let's go down and around and grab it while we're here. Sorry, I'm concentrating super hard on this area. We'll get it sorted out. So even in something like Formula One or Rally, where there's not a ton of tiers, in Rally there's what, 2 tiers? In Formula One, well, I guess there's more than that, but nothing. I mean, you wouldn't want to go down to like Formula Mazda or something. F2 and F1, you know, we'll call it good, but you see what I'm getting at. There's not a whole ladder to climb. And as far as equipment, well, using the MotoGP game as an example, there's like hundreds of upgrades and accessories you can throw on your bike. It's very well done. In something like F1, you're making everything custom. You don't really have, you know, it's not like you need a new air cleaner for your Formula One car and you go down to Napa and buy one. This stuff's all custom. So you can upgrade your intake through R&D, right? You'd see what I'm saying. There's different ways to solve the problem, but people still solve it. What's fascinating to me about Assetto Corsa Competizione is career, there's virtually no ladder. You pick any car, right? And then you're automatically like qualified for any race that you want. It just seems there's so many things about Assetto Corsa Competizione that seem not really well thought out. And it's just kind of baffling to me. I really, really want that game to be good. I want it to work. I want it to be successful. And I don't know if it will be. I hope it is. I hope it is. But it feels like it's just going to continue to struggle. It feels like something's missing. Like they need a new director. They need a new something. They need something to get it together. But I hope they do. I really do. Right. No. Oh. Almost just hit the guardrail right there. I can feel it drifting out to the left. Come on, man, this has been no joke. Whew. All right, we're almost there. Here we go. Are we speeding? No, we're not speeding. Okay. So yeah, I think that's... there was a point in there. I tried to make a point. I think I made a point. Maybe. I might have. I might not have. But I wanted to. I really wanted to make a point, and it had something to do with gaming, maybe. Modding. Something about careers. I don't know. I very often don't know exactly what I'm talking about. And then I'm also trying to drive a truck, which occupies a great deal of my brain. But it's possible that there was a point in there. I hope there was. I'll check it on the replay. Right. I think we're just about there. Fortunately, this trip, I'm not kidding, man. This trip really, like, it became no joke right after we left Kavala. It got real. Keep left, then turn left. Okay. Have I mentioned that I really like the way this game looks in DX11? I think it looks fantastic. Alright, keep left, then go left. I sort of can't, but I'll try. Alright. As long as we're on time, and there's no damage, I'm not terribly worried about tickets. Because we're rich. Hey, I'm going to switch trucks for the next episode. We've been in this truck for a month or so. I like it. I definitely like it, but I don't know that I want to drive it forever and ever. So we'll swap out to another truck next week. I don't know which one, though. Think about it. What haven't we driven for a while? I can't even remember. Maybe the Volvo. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the Volvo. We haven't driven that for a while. And I believe that's been abandoned, so I don't know if I even can drive it in 1.35, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, because 1.35 is like all new physics or something. But is the Pendragon not based on base game Volvo? Does it not just add accessory slots to a base game Volvo? I don't know. There we go. Here we go. Down the hill. We got this. Larnaka? Larnaka. I'm going to say Larnaka. It sounds better. Larnaka? That doesn't sound good at all. Right. I think this is the third place that I've really made an effort to get to, and then when we got there, it was dark. Couldn't see nothing. Fantastic. What time is it? 2:30 in the morning. Oh, man. You know somebody does this for real. Like, within recent memory, within the past week or so, it is, like, statistically inevitable that some truck driver from France took a load of something to Cyprus and got in at 2:30 in the morning. We'll be able to make this turn. We might be able to... Oh dear. We might be able to hit the trigger. We might not. I'll try. Yeah, maybe. Oh, God. Had it. There it is. Right. So we'll set the brake. We are in neutral. There. Right there. Oh, yeah. And then we'll unload. How'd we do? We are on time. No damage. Oh, that was a lot of work for 7,000 euro. But we're almost at level 31. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.